Okay, right. In this lecture, we'll talk about some of the transformation of graphs. Suppose y equals fx is some graph available to us, and then we want to draw y equals f of x plus a, and second is y equals f of x plus a. So first case is transformation of x. In fact, in this particular case, translation about x-axis. So suppose what I have written here, I'll explain after these examples. Suppose y equals mod of x is this v. This particular line is y equals x, and this line is y equals minus x. Now we want to draw y equals mod of x minus 1. Means x is being replaced by x minus 1. If you put x equals 0, y coordinate is 0. But in this particular case, if you put x equals 1, then only y coordinate is 1. So earlier it 0 comma 0 satisfies this curve. Now 1 comma 0 is satisfying this curve, which means if you keep a y constant, that x is moving, in fact moving towards right hand side. Likewise, if you make x of x plus 2 modulus, means x is replaced by x plus 2, then graph is shifting towards left hand side, because if you put x equals minus 2, then only y coordinate is 0. So what we can do to summarize everything, if a is negative, means x minus something, then graph will be moving towards the right hand side, keeping y constant. If a is positive, in this particular case, then graph is moving towards left hand side. This is transformation of x. So translation about x-axis. Second case, y equals f of x plus a. In fact, this is what we are dealing, y minus. So translation, in fact transformation of y, and it will lead to translation about x, y coordinate, y axis. So y equals mod of x is this v. If you say y equals mod of x plus 1, likewise, like the earlier we put x equals 0 and then y coordinate, likewise we'll be doing this here. X equals 0, then y coordinate is 0. If you put x equals 0, then y coordinate is 1. So y coordinate, we are actually elevating this curve by this particular distance. Y equals mod of x minus 1, put x equals 0, y coordinate is minus 1. This graph is moving in negative y direction by length 1. So if a is positive, graph is moving towards in upward direction. If a is negative, graph is moving downwards. Okay, third and fourth is about reflection about the coordinate axis. Third case, y equals f of minus x. So suppose we have y equals f of x, and some alpha comma beta satisfies this. Now in case of y equals minus x, the same curve but with minus. Now minus alpha comma beta will satisfy this. So if you want to keep the y constant, then you need to replace x with minus x, which means y equals f of minus x is nothing but reflection of y equals x about y axis. So if this is my exponential curve, y equals e raised power x, draw this curve and take reflection of this curve about y axis. This is y equals e raised power minus x. This is log x, take reflection of this graph about y axis. This is 1 comma 0, so this point is minus 1 comma 0. This is y equals log of minus x. Domain in this particular case, this case e raised power x domain is a complete real number. Likewise, e raised power minus x domain doesn't get affected by this. Okay, in this case, x is positive, precisely x is negative this side. Fourth case, y equals minus of fx, which means minus y equals f. So in case of alpha beta, earlier will be alpha comma minus beta. So if you keep your x constant, y will be multiplied by a minus sign, which means y equals minus fx is the reflection of y equals fx about x-axis. Suppose y equals e raised power x, take reflection of this graph about x-axis. This is y equals e raised power minus x. In this particular case, domain wasn't affected. In this case, multiplied by minus 1. In this case, range, basically this has to do with transformation of y. So range, earlier it was 0 to infinity, now range is minus infinity to 0. This is sine inverse x, Now we need to draw y equals minus of sine inverse x, reflection of this graph about x-axis. In fact, reflection of this graph about x-axis or y-axis will give you same answer because graph is symmetrical about origin. Okay, so this was transformation of x and then y, transformation of x and transformation of y. What if we have this y equals minus of f and minus x, means x is being replaced by minus x and then y is replaced by minus y. So the rule is first we deal transformation of x and then only we move to y coordinates, which means this is log x, this is log of minus x, then only you draw from this graph, you can draw minus y equals log of minus x. So this is my graph. Okay, and rest of the things in next videos.